We keep moving along, keep trying to see where we're going as far as the season. Very excited that we had a very good Mountain West Conference meeting on Monday, and I think we're making some progress. And I think obviously, we're not all the decision makers, but I know our players want to play. I know throughout the league, and we want to do what's best for them.
Hey Brady, from a going to Carson and playing in that stadium perspective with regards to recruiting, I know traditionally you get a lot of players from the LA area, Inland Empire, and Orange County. You have a reputation as an excellent recruiter. Generally speaking, how can that help you playing 2 years of games there? And anything interesting pop into your mind like, hey, I want to take advantage of this down the road that may be unique or something that you weren't doing before with regard to recruiting players in that area?
Yeah, I think a couple things. I think going to Carson, for the 1 year, obviously, the Chargers didn't want to be here, obviously. We want to be here. We're a fabric, we're San Diego State in this community. I think from a recruiting aspect, number one, we've got a lot of players from the IE and the Los Angeles area. So, for them, it may be a little bit better from having visits during games. And that would be something that the NCAA hasn't ruled on. We're still in a dead period through October. So I think, going to Carson, I think is a great thing for us for that opportunity for a year. I mean, you look at what we're building here in San Diego. When you look at the stadium itself, what's going up, and giving us a little jump start maybe on getting some of those things accomplished.
In regards to the location that you're playing, would you have rather played at USD or at Southwestern or at some other facility here in San Diego, especially this spring when it's really looking like there won't be fans in attendance?
Well, not really, John. I think that's a unique opportunity. I think that stadium, and I personally have not been there, but what I've heard, talking to Coop and some guys on the staff, they think it's a great location. We talked to our team before the announcement dropped on Monday, and I think our seniors, obviously, they would. I think they would like to play in the old stadium if we could, but at the same time, they also know the opportunity to, maybe build a little bit more fan base up there, even though there may not be people in the stands.
And as a follow-up, how optimistic are you that there will be football this spring? I think if we were to go back 3 or 4 months from today, you were probably saying, I know JD was saying, we're optimistic football will be played this fall. How optimistic are you that football will be played in the spring?
Well, I know this. I know that every team in our conference wants to play. I know all the players, and especially I can speak to our guys here at San Diego State. They want to play. We've tossed around a lot of different models, some being a fall-winter model, some being a winter-spring model. So, there's a lot of work behind the scenes. There's a lot of, I think we've learned a little bit more about the pandemic. I think the testing part of it is critical, and hopefully we can, as a conference, keep moving towards getting a test that, the rapid testing. And if that happens, I think that is a real game changer for us in the Mountain West.
Hi, Brady. 2 things. First off, a lot of Aztec fans displayed some unhappiness yesterday with the news of going to Carson. What would you have to say to them?
I would say this. I say, be patient. It's a 1-year deal. We are building something down in Mission Valley that will be very, very iconic. I think with what I've seen and some of you have seen, the renderings and what it will do for the university from an academic standpoint. I think what it will do for our community. And, we're excited, the Aztec Warrior Stadium, we get that done. It's a 1 year, not playing up here. I think they'll be patient, and they know that the Aztecs want to be here.
And then the other thing is, I think the Mountain West coaches and football coaches have met recently. Can you give us any more on discussions that went on there? And what do you think would be the possibility of maybe somehow getting to play before the fall is out for the Mountain West teams?
Yeah, we had a really good meeting, Kirk, on Monday with Commissioner Thompson. I thought everyone understands that it's not going to fit everybody, whatever we do, precisely like we like. But we've talked about different models. And again, either, a fall, winter, a winter, spring, kind of modeling of what would work best. And we all had our time to share and reasons why. And so, we're just waiting, and we're going to keep working as hard as we can to prepare our football team and, to prepare, for those kids. And that's the biggest thing. I mean, our players, they've been through a lot when you look at it from a mental health standpoint, and they've been really, really good. And we just got to keep them positive and keep moving forward.
Two questions for you. First, as a veteran of the Big Ten, what do you think about this decision today and about just how crazy the entire sort of became? I mean, even the president getting involved.
Well, I would say this, Brandon. I'm happy the Big Ten made a decision like that. I think, number one, for their schools and their players and those guys who want to play, I think it, like I said, I think this changes daily. And, obviously I'm not a doctor and don't know all. The only thing I can say, we all want to play with the safety of the players in mind and their health. And I think, as we go forward and as we're moving forward, I think we're getting to a point where we're getting a little more answers about the pandemic.
When you hear Coach O say everyone in our team basically got sick and we're going to go with herd immunity here and hopefully stay okay, how does that hit you as a coach and as a person?
Well, number one, we don't want any of our players to get sick, and I've heard the herd immunity and all those kind of things. Bottom line is we don't want any of them, to come down and test positive and all those things. And we got to worry about what we're doing as a program and how we're handling, the science side and the medical side. And I think we've done a terrific job.
Hey, Coach. Thank you for your time, first and foremost. I kind of want to piggyback off this. Obviously, the Big Ten making their move, the Pac-12 kind of following in unison. Do you think, just from your perspective, what you've talked to with Coach Thompson, is it more of just like a bubble system? Is it the fact that, there's not testing done in an immediate basis where you can get results immediately like that? What's kind of, I guess, the next hump to get over to get football back on the field?
Yeah, I think number one, Julian, it's the rapid testing. I mean, the availability for everyone to get involved with the rapid testing, I think that makes a world of difference. As far as, you start talking about, the Pac-12, if it comes back, and I think in some ways it will. And if they can come back, obviously the 49ers, the Rams, and the Chargers, they're all doing fine, which is a whole different deal because they have the financial backing to get everything done that they're doing. But at the same time, I think, as we move forward, there's more of an opportunity. So I'm excited that the Big Ten and hopefully the Pac-12, I know they want to play. We all know that will come about here in a couple days.
And just kind of piggybacking off that, so obviously this past Saturday was the first of college football. Just from your perspective, I know you've been involved in the game for such a long time. How, weird was that for you to just be, I don't even know what you were doing, but just to be kind of stationary, and also the challenge along with like kind of keeping your guys locked in for a later date, just for this league in general?
Yeah, I think, our guys have been pretty locked in. I mean, I like how we've gone about our business. We talk, 3 times a week. We have a team meeting virtually. They're with their coaches 5 days a week. We're going to be out on the field again tomorrow, starting tomorrow, doing work with strength and conditioning. But, I think we've tried to stay as prepared as we can. We had the little hiccup 2 weeks ago, but our guys have done a nice job. I think, as we move forward, we'll learn more every day, and we want to play. I mean, let's face it. And I watched football on Saturday. That was a little unusual, but it was nice to watch some football. And then obviously watching the Padres has been very exciting. And so right now you're taking into my time right now for the day game.
Coach, I'm sorry about that. I have one last question on the whole thing. Obviously, there's going to be modifications to your stadium when you finally get to play back inside of it. What kind of stands out the most and what excites you the most with those modifications?
I think the different concepts that they have, as far as, you look at the different parts of the stadium representing neighborhoods. I think that is cool. I think, the stadium itself, the views, just everything about it. I think, 35,000, it'd be great if we get more demand and it can go to 45. But I do think it's going to be a great place down there on the river.
Hi, Coach. I'm just curious, by any chance, do you guys know what the game day process is going to look like for the team travel-wise? Do you guys plan on going for the weekend, going day of? Do you guys have any idea what that's looking like?
Well, I think this, and are you talking about the Carson trip, Lewis?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think, because we play so many night games, with the TV package and all those things, I think we would probably go day of. We would have our guys here in San Diego. When I was the head coach of Ball State, we would go down and play Miami of Ohio, and we would stay in Muncie in a hotel, and then that morning and drive down to Oxford and stop halfway, get out, do a little walkthrough at a state park, and then get back on the bus and go into the stadium.
Coach, you've said about 5 times on here that your players want to play and you want to play. As you look around the country, most people are playing now. The states that aren't, California, Oregon, New Mexico, Hawaii, happen to be very, very liberal states, blue states. And that's kind of the trend around the country. Do you feel like your players are political pawns in this? When you have, you have similar numbers and case numbers and hospitalization numbers in other states and they're playing football and you're not here. Do you think this is sort of about a political agenda more than it is about safety?
Well, Mark, I think that's something for everybody else to figure out. I'm not going to get political in the matter. I think that, our players, they want to play. I think the different states, they have different doctors, different beliefs maybe. I don't know. But I just know that, we want to play. And if we can do that, I think that's great.
Can you sort of put in words your level of frustration? I mean, obviously there's frustration you can't play, but how that level of frustration changes when, like you said, you turn your TV on Saturday morning and you see players playing in other states.
All my frustration is for those kids. I mean, them not getting an opportunity. And these opportunities don't come around very often. I mean, you think about it, you get a chance to play, 48 games through your college career. You go to bowl games, you go to championship games, more than that. But, those can be taken away very quickly. And so not having that opportunity for those guys who have worked hard, our 4th-year seniors, our 5th-year seniors, who have been in the program. You know, that's where your frustration is.
You're missing the Padres game. You know, if Mike May had scheduled this for noon instead of 1, we could all watch the game.
Yeah.
Now we still have to sit through Dutcher.
Yeah.
What about that?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll sit in a room with Dutch if you want me to, okay? But if I don't get to see Tatis play, I'm going to be pissed off. I can tell you that.
And as long as we're on the topic, will the Padres win the division this year?
Yes, they will.
Okay.
They got a great team. They're fun to watch. The energy, they like each other. You can tell that. I mean, it really is, as a football coach, and you look at teams, you know, and I can know the really good teams that I've been able to be part of and as a player and as a coach, they have energy, and you can tell they like each other. I think that's what the Padres have. They've done a great job in trades. I mean, it's exciting.
Coach, you mentioned you're going back to practice tomorrow. Are you going to conduct practices the same way you did throughout the entire month of August? Have different groups on the field at different times, socially distanced?
Yeah, Kyle, it will be the same where we left off. Which the good thing is we had just gotten able to start using the ball, and in football that's kind of important. So we got to use the ball, and so we'll start there. We don't have to regress, I guess I would say. But, yeah, we'll be doing that, sleds, bags, be socially distanced on some things like we were. But it really, it's going to be great to get out there at 5:30 tomorrow morning.
Coach, the Mountain West put out a statement this morning that made it sound like they're really trying to accelerate, trying to get back on the field. And yet some of the states obviously have guidelines that don't allow you to ramp up to a game. Is your feeling that the conference would stay together, the coaches would stay together and only play if all 12 schools could play? Or do you think it would be like whoever's ready to go in a month, maybe that could possibly be how they go?
Yeah, Kirk, and that's one of the things we kind of addressed. And just so you guys know, I'm hoping we all can play. And I'm hoping that, we get the opportunity from the county level and all that kind of stuff that goes into it. We talked, and I told the commissioner that, if there's other teams that can play and we can't, I think we ought to let them play. And I mean that because I'm not going to make a decision that affects their kids, their where they're at, their well-being and all those things.
So if, say, all the schools could play except for the California 3, then those other 9 would have your endorsement to go play. And then what would you still maybe want to try and do something with California schools in the spring, say?
I think that would we'd have to look at that, not even thinking that way. Because I believe if I know our conference well enough and have talked to some of their coaches, if we all can't play, they really think we need to stay together.
All right. And last thing, are you getting close to signing your contract?
Sometime here. We're going through a pandemic. There's a lot of stuff going on. I've been busy as heck, Kirk.
Well, they do e-signatures now.
Yeah, I hear you. Remember, I just got on Zoom and understand a computer, so I don't know if I'd know how to do that.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us.
Have a great day, man.